going.
Are we on?
We are on.
I love it.
It's cold openings. Like I don't know. It's why do they call you Flea though? Because like your name is Felicia, and I was like Flea, and I was like Flea. I was like, isn't that a TV show or something? And like I didn't know.
Fleabag. You were thinking?
Oh yes,
yes. That
not marketed to me.
Fleabag. Oh, I think you're wrong.
Really?
I think you would love it.
I think they missed me.
I don't know.
You know, Beautiful Girls. You remember that movie?
Yes, of course.
Worst marketed, worst titled movie in the history of the world. It was like intended for 20-year-old guys.
Right.
And they marketed it to like women.
Well, I think because there's so many 20-year-old guys in it, it really was for women.
Really?
Yeah. It's more of a story to see like how shitty the guys are.
Come on. Michael Rappaport was not shitty.
No, he was not. He was the good one.
He was amazing.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Who was he within that?
Matt Dillon's in it.
I love Matt Dillon. I worked with him as a director, and we had the best time ever.
He was the director, or you were the director?
He was the director. I was his casting director in a movie, and got to spend a lot of time with him. And he was an amazing director.
Really? Mm-hmm. I only know him from this one drunken evening in New York City where he was making out with my librarian.
Oh, probably.
So
every time we'd go into a restaurant, all the waitresses knew him or whatever. Yeah. He
and when they did that movie, he was about as big as he could be.
Yeah. I love him.
Yeah, no, we're about the same age, and we can't make those movies or shows anymore.
No. In a way, it's good. I mean, I prefer to see more things run by women.
Well,
you know, I've done a lot of shows that the women wrote it, starred in it, produced it. And that's a really great perspective to have, you know?
Yeah. There's room for all kinds of things.
That's
the difference.
There isn't room for anything right now. I just heard today another Ryan Murphy spinoff, and I was like, really?
Yeah.
Couldn't find anyone else?
Don't worry, the fifth version of FBI is coming.
It's the 911.
Yeah.
And I was like, there you go. There you have it. It is what it is, I guess. I have no control over it.
None. Do not worry about it. Do not worry about it.
Thank you.
I made that decision in 2022. I was like, Trump's going to win in 2022. And I was like, I'm not worrying about it.
Well, you need to tell us all how not to worry about it.
You just make a conscious decision not to. It's like, you know, you cannot help that the Democratic Party's so bad at what they do that they couldn't beat Donald.
Just gave up.
Yeah. Anyway, on a happier note, it's wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
So back to Flea. Where does that come from?
You know, I don't know. I've had many nicknames my entire life. Goes back to, actually, friends of mine from high school were messaging me the other day, and they were remembering me as Fifi.
Yeah.
I do have one friend here, another cast director who calls me Fifi. Fifi. I don't know. I think I'm like the kind of person.
I would probably have called you Fufu.
Fufu has been enough. That's right. Actually, it was Fufu. And then there's Fifi. There's Fufu was my high school. And then,
That's probably what I would have went with.
Yeah.
And I call people things. So.
I do too. Probably I've made nicknames for everyone. Snobes. Something like that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's not bad. Nobes. People do call me Nobes. I hear that.
I have a little S before.
The valet called me Mr. Noble, which is one of my favorites. Then when you go to Mexico and you get room service and they say, your waffle is Mr. Noble. that makes me happy.
You need to be here all the time.
My happiest.
Yeah.
That's my happiest version is getting waffles in Mexico.
Why are you getting waffles in Mexico, by the way? If you're in Mexico,
you're
not going to have some huevos rancheros or some beautiful.
No, I don't eat Mexican food. I hate Mexican food.
Okay.
I love their food in Mexico because they have good products.
They have great fruit and beautiful produce.
They have better food than us.
100%.
The raw materials.
Everyone has better food than us.
That's true.
Every country.
Except for the mayonnaise in Europe. I don't understand why they have to make it taste that way.
Because it's real. Because they're making it. It's really more of an aioli. They're making it real.
Yeah,
it's
aioli.
Not that. Which is what mayonnaise is. That's how you make mayonnaise. It's aioli.
If it's not Hellman's, I'm not happy. I don't need any Miracle
And you're
Whip.
a Heinz ketchup guy too. None of that
I very
off-brand.
rarely eat ketchup, but when I do, I eat catsup.
Yeah. I am familiar with it. Yeah. I'm not a big mayo person. I'm a Long Island Italian. It was not a big
You're
condiment
Italian?
in my house. Can you believe it? Felicia Fasano, Italian.
I do not believe it. I don't believe it. The hair, nothing. Nothing about you says Italian.
Earrings.
Nothing about you says Italian at all.
Italian. Yes.
So my great grandmother did not like Italians.
Oh.
And like she was from the world where they're like, well, apparently someone had a meeting and decided Italians and the Irish were white. That was like, she was that old.
Right.
That's old.
Well, I remember hearing from my family of, the signs that were like, no blacks, no Italians.
Yeah.
No. I mean, so.
And now they run Trump MAGA.
Isn't
it
Rudy.
weird?
Yeah.
Like the New York Union folks that like.
Well, I mean, traditionally, and this is why I can't never go back to Long Island, most likely, is everyone I grew up with, and God bless those Facebook people. Every once in a while I take a peek. Everyone I grew up with, they're all right wing.
I'm right wing.
And all, well,
not really, but I don't care. I don't care. I told you I gave up caring.
I know. I'm going to try. I'm going to work on the not caring part.
So here's the first thing. Turn off the news.
Well, I don't have news.
Okay. Don't read anything that starts with New York Times.
Well, that's good because I don't pay. I can't get
behind
the paywall, so that's fine.
Let it all go. Like any of that stuff.
Right.
Just let it go.
Right.
And only consume news from TikTok. Yeah. Then you will elevate and evolve to a higher being of not caring about anything.
Okay, I get it.
All right.
Mm-hmm. I understand. I will try. I have been actually trying lately to not really pay as much attention.
You can't let those things bother you because I got
enough problems.
Yeah, because they're trying to let them bother. Yeah, exactly. We have enough shit to worry about.
Exactly.
Can you pay your rent? I can pay my rent.
Yeah, I mean, so far
that's good.
My mortgage, but luckily I did.
You got a mortgage. That's fancy. In California?
Yeah. Well, a long time ago,
must be really successful.
Yeah. At one point, no. I was very lucky that I had bought a tiny little place very far east side and then flipped it for double to buy in another very small neighborhood that blew up now. So, I mean, yeah.
So now you got something.
I do. So it's like, what do I do with it?
There's so many options.
There's too many options.
So Steph had booked someone. She says you're really good. Kyle Luker.
We're very close.
Oh, yes. You know Kyle?
Yeah.
All right. So she booked Kyle, and then I was like, oh, Kyle's fun. Awesome. And I was like, do you know any other people that are? Because we just had Henry Simmons come through.
I saw him walk out.
Yeah. So Henry, he's very an actor. Handsome. So isn't he? I felt so Steph had Kevin Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry Simmons, and then my friend was Alex Molina, who's an actor and a producer, and they're all way too good looking. And I'm like, guys, we gotta knock it off. And is that what makes an actor? It's being really, really good looking.
I don't think so.
No, but
it doesn't hurt.
Right. It's a certain type of actor.
A certain type for a certain role.
What do you think do you start from the role or do you
You start with the script and you have conversations with, if it's TV, the writer, the showrunner, if it's a film, the director, usually, and you sort of talk about ideas, what are they looking for? What do I think would work well. And then
who would you cast as David Noble in the life and times of David Noble?
At this age or younger?
Ooh, good question.
I was gonna say like Beck Bennett.
I don't even know who that is.
From SNL.
He's on SNL?
He was, yeah. He's great.
Really?
He's really cute.
Thank you.
Cute white guy.
This age.
He's a little bit, maybe a little younger than you, but yeah.
Really? You know, who do you think I get?
Oh, David Spade.
No, but that's not bad. I'll take that. Ed Norton, I always got.
Oh.
But the one that I'm really proud that I get is Donnie Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah.
And last year.
I kind of see it.
Yeah. Well, generic white dude, right? Like Ed Norton, Donnie Wahlberg, like.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get Mark Wahlberg because of the body.
Well, you've got your clothes on, so I can't attest to that.
But you can tell.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So last year we were in Kansas and we blew a tire in the middle of nowhere in Kansas. Mm. Like, I'm telling you, when I say middle of nowhere, not like LA people nowhere. I'm talking like if you're from Hayes, Kansas, this was nowhere.
No idea where that even looks.
So we're driving around the middle of nowhere and it's flat, right? Mm. Like you can see miles. And I blow a tire and I go in, I forget where it was, but it was like Clay's. And Clay's, like I was just grateful there was an automotive store in this town because it was only about 7 blocks long. And so I pull up to Clay's and he's like, yeah, my guys aren't here. He said, they're gone. I'm like, they'll be back. So I'm like, and he's like, yeah, you don't have a full-size flat or you don't have a full-size spare. And I'm in a giant SUV and I've got a guy that's worth like $500 million sitting next to me and a young woman in the back seat.
What is going on?
And I'm like, ooh, this is going to be interesting. And he's like, I don't have that size tire. So either we can fix your tire or you've got to put the spare on and drive 70 miles back to an actual town. On the spare.
Where were you headed and who are these people?
All right. So that's a good question. I was headed to the Yukon, Kansas game in Lawrence, Kansas, coming from Fort Hays, but I had to go to a circuitous route to keep someone out of a bar. So I decided to go to the center of the center of the continental United States of America, which is in north central Kansas, nowhere. And that's where I blew the tire. So there was the Handlebar Mustache Grill that had just opened and they were very proud of it. So Clay said, you can take lunch over there. So I brought my crew. It was fantastic. Let me tell you, the food was great. If you're ever stuck in whatever town that was.
I don't ever see that.
I'm pretty sure it's just a motorcycle meth gang town, but let me tell you, it was great. And after dinner, after lunch, they come over and they say, what's your name? I said, well, my name's David Noble. And then I could see just sadness.
You broke their heart.
Yeah, they thought Donnie Wahlberg was eating in the Handlebar Mustache Grill. And like, no.
But they didn't recognize the other person with the gazillion dollars?
No. He's very, very normal. Okay. He's just got a lot of money.
Did he pay cash for the meal?
His response when I blew the tire is, oh, don't worry, I've got a stack of hundreds. And I was like, ain't going to help us if there ain't a tire.
He was going to stack them up to patch the tire.
Yeah, I can't. The tire patched. Everything was fine.
Good. You made it out, clearly.
We
alive.
Made it out. Alive. It was something. But Donnie Wahlberg, I like that. I don't think he could play me, though.
You know, I think he'd have to really study you. You have to like really get, because you've got like this, you know, you've this ease about you and making everyone feel ease around you. And that's something that doesn't come natural for many people. And actors are used to just reading, you know, doing material that's written for them. So I don't know him personally to say like, could he just slip into that?
Well, I don't know him personally either, but he's from Dorchester and Roxbury over there. And I can tell you those people.
They're characters.
Yeah, but they're not. I'm from Rhode Island. We're different than them. We're the same, but different.
I did a show that shot in Boston. And
Which one?
It was called Kevin Can Fuck Himself.
That's a good name for a show.
Thank
I missed
you.
it though.
Oh, you can still catch it. It was on AMC, 2 seasons with Annie Murphy from Schitt's Creek. And half of the show is multicam, and then the other half is like really dark hour drama. She wants to kill her husband. I mean, it's more in depth than that, but I think you would love it.
Yeah, actually.
So the accents were so important.
Me.
Yeah, the accents were so important, and we were the first show back for me when the pandemic was happening, so we couldn't really travel people. So we were pulling people in from Rhode Island and around there.
Rhode Islanders can't do a Boston accent. It's really hard. I have no hearing, so I can't mimic at all.
Hearing aids.
Yeah. Do you really? I need them.
I'll get them. It's like wearing glasses. I got them like 2 years ago. I've mild, but enough where it's frustrating for me is restaurants.
I can't.
It's impossible.
I don't hear anything in a restaurant.
And
I look at the person I'm eating with and pretend.
Oh, it's horrible.
I believe is causing me to have early onset dementia.
And it's completely connected.
Yeah, I know it
My
is.
father was deaf in an ear, blind in an eye, still driving, 88 years old. And when he, at the end, like the last how many years, had dementia, I'm sure it was connected with his hearing because he just didn't even know what was going on most of the time. But I went to an ENT who was like, yeah, you're fine. Like when I'm turning 60 in a couple of weeks. And I went,
60?
I know, 60. And I went when I was like 56 or something. And he's like, yeah, it's like.
You don't look a day older than 51.
Well, thank you. That's not, about 50. Yeah. So this is what 60 looks like now.
Really?
This year I got wrinkles.
California 60 or?
I mean, I look at my friends I grew up with. We are all kind of look around this. Like we would look like we're the same age. I think, but
I'm 47.
That's a good age. That's a good year.
Yep.
47. But I want you to go to an audiologist. Don't go to an ENT because he was like, whatever. And then I went to the audiologist, and they check the muscles in your ears, the bones in your ears. They give you a 2-hour, not just like the one you raise your hand. And the diagnosis was crazy exact what my issue was. So, for example, the doctor's in with somebody else. I'm sitting out in the waiting room, and she pops her head out and says to the nurse, my mouse just died. I heard her say, my mouth just died, knowing it was her mouse. It was not her mouth. My brain is like, that's that. But that's what I heard. So they literally gave me the diagnosis for what exactly
it was.
And it's those sounds sound alike.
Uh-huh.
And
so when you're in a restaurant, can you hear the person over there?
I can hear the music.
Okay. So I can hear as clear as if they're sitting across from me talking to me, the person halfway across the room speaking into my ear, and I cannot hear the people around me, and it makes me insane.
Just go get it.
I don't know if it's a brain disorder or a hearing disorder.
It's part of it is the one that I am diagnosed with. I can't think of the name of it now, but I could tell you after. It is literally from like a brain, not like yes, it's part of your brain. It's not like the bones and some of it's age and some of it's just like genetic.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get dementia. So I didn't have to get hearing aids. And I just was like, this is more preventative. Right. So I'm in the conversation always. I can't be like checked out. And so it's been.
Unless you want to.
Well, the political conversation I will check out of. And it's so funny how when I tell them I'm wearing hearing aids, because I'm trying to make it acceptable for people my age.
Okay.
And they're always like, oh yeah, my grandmother has them. She won't wear them. I'm like, and those are my same friends who are like, what? Constantly.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make it more acceptable, like glasses, you wear glasses.
I support that.
But there's a lot of great advantages too. Like I listen to all my podcasts through it. You can't even tell. I have all my phone conversations. I mean, you could even hook it up to your TV if you want to. I don't do that, but it's like it's
like Bluetooth into your thing.
It is, and you can't even see it.
No, you can't tell.
It's like this little, that's it.
Yeah.
But when you take it out, it's not like you can't hear. it's just like a little bit muffled. It's not like people go like, oh, can you not hear? I'm like, no, I can.
Well, it's like when I take my glasses off, I can still see.
But I can't hear when I take my glasses off. Does that happen to you?
No.
Oh my God. But back in the day when we had to like pick up a phone in the middle of the night, like we don't have to really do that anymore. I'd have to put my glasses on to really hear the conversation and really like understand. Otherwise it's like, I'm like,
So you have a nice conversation with the showrunner or the director, and you have ideas. I do want to learn, like, how do you find people? Like what do you look for? Because like Steph has an eye for these things, right? And I'm always like, I'm always moderately annoyed when she's right about that sort of stuff. But she does have an eye for it. What goes on in your brain? Like what? Because it's fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, it starts with what the project is, right? I mean, like there's different things, right? Like, can you just be out and be looking at someone and be like, they're so interesting, or like, I love your voice. Your voice would be something Pamela Adlon would love, who I work with a lot. Like, yes, those things happen all the time. But as far as like when we're actually hired to do the job, it starts with the part and what that's going to be.
So it's not like you just have favorites and you get to play favorites all the time? Because I feel like that's how Steph would do it.
She would probably try to give them a little advantage, which, sure, I have no favorites. I don't. I love everybody the same.
So
I love
zero?
I'm a big fan
love
of
everybody zero.
It's pretty zero.
Kevin can go fuck himself.
Yeah. Very much so. I want everyone to do well, so that's sort of like not great if you want to like play favorites. But there's times when I'm like, I mean, I could a million times of where I knew I was right, but they didn't go with that person, and then it was like, should have done that. But that doesn't make you a better casting director. Yeah. You have to be able to have a shortcut, and if you are my showrunner or the person that I'm working for and with, I want to give you what you want, what your vision is. If you don't know what it is exactly, then I'll give you other options. But sometimes people get very locked in, and that can, like, they could have written themselves into a box.
Are you smarter than the directors on that? Because like you're more specialized, so I would expect you to be smarter.
I have a lot of experience in all different departments. I didn't come at this from one way. So I have a lot of experience on a lot of it. So I would say I definitely have more of like a producer eye when I read a script, and I'm like, this is unproducible. So I'm going to have no money for my cast.
Right.
So that's just sort of like, and I'm the kind of person that if something isn't working, if it's a comedy and nobody is funny and you're bringing in people are funny, then I have to say, it's something wrong with this scene. Can we rewrite this, or can we change this? Because no, like it can't be.
Yeah.
These people are
amazing. So you're bringing in funny people, and every time they read, everyone's just bombing.
And you're like, this is not the actors. So you have to be willing to have those conversations.
That's like a professor. So there's a similar component to it. Like when you get assignments back coming at you, and you're like, this person fucked it up. This person fucked it up. Like at the fourth person, you're like, yeah, that's on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's a good way to look at it.
Do you like doing it?
I did. I mean, I fell into it, but I did for a long time when it was fun, when we were in the room with the actors and the creators, and then you build relationships and everybody. And these last 5 years of being, just isolated, it's not as much fun. I don't know how the new people coming up are going to really.
They're not going to be able to learn a craft.
Like we were. I mean, I worked for somebody for years to learn it, and then went on my own and like did it like really scrappy for so long. So it's like, I don't know how the next generation and my group and those much older than me can't retire. So it's like, there's no opportunity to bring new people up.
You know how you do it? You just go off of how many Instagram followers they have. That's the way to do it.
Oh my God. I just started following your show.
Oh, thank you.
Today. Yeah.
You're one of like 35
I know.
people.
I felt really special, actually.
You are.
Like you shouldn't feel when there's not few, you should feel like I'm actually a smart one. I got in early. I'll make it big.
That's the theory, right?
No. Yeah. I mean, like that stuff you hear. I mean, I have occasionally, if I really felt strongly about somebody, I will then be like, oh, and by the way, but they're already like, it's between them and another person. And I really think that they're the one. I might slip, oh, by the way, they have this menopause. But it's not like I look at that, like, I'm just like, I really know they're the right person for this. It might help get them, over the hump of approval. But maybe a handful of times I've ever like mentioned something like that. I've heard the studios and the networks have mentioned it to me.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah. Well, it's been coming for a long time. None of this is new. This has all been many years of this, like who, means and whatever, and who's got eyes on them and who's in the press or whatever. So it's not that new. Just like self-taping isn't new. How do you think all of these foreign actors had these jobs all these years? They were self-taping in their countries.
Oh.
They were not maybe some of them happened to be here, but
what is self-taping?
It's what we kind of have to do now because we're not in a room with people. They put themselves on tape for the part, send it to us, we watch it, and then we decide.
Sounds really boring.
For them or for me? What?
You.
No, not at all.
See,
because I'm used to watching that stuff anyway, whether I'm in the room or not.
I feel like it would be so much more fun to be on like a panel and they're nervous and somebody starts crying and
there's no panel. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you get like a couple people and you're watching them like in the movies.
It's what my biggest pet peeve is how they display what's the word? How they show casting in movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Even people I know that know better, that is not at all what it looks like.
No, come on, don't say that. Don't
it's
say
more like
because that's like my favorite part.
It's more like we always try to make it like warm and small and not have a lot of people there, especially like the initial ones. When you get to the testing, then it's a little bit more world.
Do you like when they cry?
Do I like what?
Do you like when they cry? Because like I would like it when people cry, when they come in and they read and then they have a breakdown and then they cry and they run out of the room. Like that would make me like I'd be like, oh, this is awesome. Can we do this again? Yeah, just like breaking down. Yeah.
Only time I've really seen people break down was when the height of, let's say, like 20 years ago, when pilot season was really like an insane thing where actors were going to 7 series regular pilot auditions in a day. And I just remember one actor coming in and being like, wait, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I don't even know what this is. And kind of broke down. I was like, it's cool, man. Just come back whenever you want or can.
Sometime.
Like he's like, this is my 7th one. And I was like, oh my God, the pressure. And also the not pressure because they're like just throwing everything out there. They're not really having the time to really work on anything.
I wonder what it's like casting Friends.
Well, what do you mean? How that came together?
Yeah. They missed that one, right? Like.
They really fucked that up. I think a lot of times though, like my theory about like what makes a star is the part.
I think Jennifer Aniston's going to be big someday.
You do.
Someday.
You know what's so funny? I was doing a bunch of stuff at MTV at that time. I'd done The Real World and Road Rules. I'd done LA Real World. And
did you do the original Real World?
This season 2.
Season
LA,
2.
Yeah.
LA.
And I was doing the game show. And she was supposed to come in and read for me to be like the host of a game show. And they're like, oh, this pilot she did is going. And it was Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I do have a lot of hope for her career.
You do?
Yes. Yep.
Do you like the morning show?
Love it.
Really?
Yeah, I love that.
What do you like about it?
It feels angry.
Angry at like just in general.
Everything.
It's got like an underbelly of anger.
Yeah, I really appreciated that show actually. I really, really did like it.
I was really excited when they were going to go in space.
I don't like her necessarily in that show. I like the guy. The crazy guy.
Yeah, Billy Crudup? Or
maybe. The one that's
the boss.
The boss that hires the other famous actress in that, Reese Witherspoon, maybe. Mm-hmm. I'm not good with famous people's names.
That's fine. You don't have to be.
But I know she's famous.
She is.
She plays the white trash girl that makes it onto the show. Yeah. I really like the boss that brings her on.
Yeah.
I relate to that.
Because you're a boss.
Yeah, but like that's the type of boss I would be.
Yeah, you want to create conflict.
If they let me in charge of anything, that's what's going to happen.
I got it.
This shit's going to be epic or it's going to be epically bad. Like we're not running the middle.
It's kind of like when I was casting The Real World and the first season they had done it basically like looking for actors. They put out a breakdown. And then with us, it was like, no, we're going to like look for people through different we needed one actor, so that was going to happen that way. We were in LA, but we were targeting cities and careers and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, the thing I figured, I was like, these are not only 7 people who would never be friends, they'd never be in the same elevator together. They would never be going to any of the same things. So it's like you put them in and you go, well, like some people don't know how to be in a family. Some people, you're going to throw them in a house with all these people. Like,
do you feel responsible for breaking TV?
No, but I wish I had stayed in it because maybe I would be not
real
hustling and struggling right now. I should have, all my friends who I worked with back then, all became producers on all of the shows. And,
those but Real World specifically probably did more to create unscripted television than anything else.
And,
maybe that
it was so
Original
interesting how
Bachelor.
They came up with it. Mary Ellis Bunham, rest her soul, and John Murray, she came from soap operas. He came from news. And they were like, how can we do something like a Friends, like a 20-somethings, but not spend any money? Okay, first of all, let's put them all in a house. First of all, let's not use actors.
Yeah.
So they would just pay the people a stipend for their story rights.
Which is really good.
Which was back then was like, if I remember,
$7?
It was like $1,700 for 6 weeks or what. Like that was
amazing.
It. And then they put them in the house. And then what else can we do? Oh, well, then we won't have writers.
Yeah.
So
we don't need writers.
And there's no locations. We're just renting this one house. There's a skeleton crew.
How much booze and drugs do we need to make it explode?
Yeah. It was a lot of like, we didn't have as much manipulation of that. I mean, I think that evolved over.
Do you think that Summer House is stupid?
I love Summer House.
Really?
I'm a fan.
So my producer is the Giggly Squad producer.
Oh,
with
really?
Paige and Hannah.
I love Paige.
Do you?
I do. Italian girl from like upstate New York. I love her.
You think she's Italian?
I mean,
she's beautiful.
That Hannah, though, her stand-up was one of the worst things I've ever seen, her special.
We're not allowed to say that on this show, so we're just going to beep that part out.
Beep that out. I'm sorry.
But no, it's okay. It's okay. You can say it. We're not going to beep it out. I was just being silly.
But I was like, who thinks this is funny? Okay.
She does.
Yeah, she really does think she's funny. Yeah. And I kind of had liked her in the beginning, and then in the beginning of the show.
In the beginning of the show.
On it. But then
she's off the show, right?
For a while, yeah.
So Giggly Squad is a big thing, though. Have you watched that?
No.
Oh, you should watch their podcast.
I will. I just read today that they're going to be they're going to be like not presenters, who's the people, the hosts at the Vanity Fair party for the Oscars.
Excellent for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really blown up. So my producer was on the Radio City Music Hall with them live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's that?
A lot of girls messaged him after that, I think.
Like that?
Yeah.
Oh, he was on it? Like they saw
No,
his
he's
face?
the producer, so he's got a camera.
So just because he's the producer?
So Oscar back there doesn't have a camera.
Oscar, you want to...
He just doesn't have one. He's not into it the way Chris is.
Pick up
but Oscar knows Chris. And Chris just forces his way onto the podcast. And that's what we like about him.
Okay.
Yeah. He's the one that made me do this show.
Well, I think he is good at casting because I think you're very good at it.
No,
I listened to a bunch of your
17
episodes.
people that listen and watch disagree with you.
Why do they? What do they think?
They think that it's like, so apparently my mom watches. Like that was cool. I didn't know that. Did you see the Worldwide Weenie Tour?
No.
Oh my God. That's how Steph got the job.
What is the Worldwide Weenie Tour?
Yeah, see, that's what we need to get you casting. The Worldwide Weenie Tour.
Is it the car that's the wiener?
No. It's just me and my friends going around eating hot dogs all day long.
Wow. I love it.
Yeah, we made like we went to New Jersey and I had like 14 hot dogs there one day. Mm-hmm. And then we went to Connecticut. Steph came for that part. And we had like 10 hot dogs that day. And then we went to Rhode Island. I probably had another 10.
Are you going to do that while you're here?
No, but I'll go to Pink's.
We have good hot dogs here.
Pink's is great. I like the hot dog pup stand there.
Have you been to Worst Cooch?
No, but
and also by me, I'm on the east side, is Lincoln Hops, which is kind of a version of Worst Cooch. There's a bunch of, and there's the Dog House or something.
Yes.
I've never been there, but
so yeah, there's a lot of good hot dogs in LA. Yeah. No doubt. But no, we haven't done that. We did that, and then we did a parade where we gave out, instead of throwing candy from the float, we made a boat. We used the boat as the float, and we did a theme with there's that little guy. It's always a girl, and she plays a guy and flies around. Peter Pan.
Peter Pan?
Peter Pan. We did a Peter Pan theme.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah. There was a Tinkerbell and a Peter Pan. And Peter Pan was out handing out hot dogs. So we gave out like 300 and something hot dogs at a parade.
So this is so weird. I was looking for something to watch last night and just went back to 30 Rock, the first episode. And the first scene is Liz Lemon gets annoyed at this guy who's trying to cut in line, but she wants a hot dog. So she buys all the hot dogs and is giving them out to everybody in the street. Literally.
People love hot dogs.
I mean, yeah.
They act like they're too good for it, but so New York City has the worst hot dogs. Worst hot dogs. Yeah. LA has 5 places better that I can think of off the top of my head, better hot dogs than any place in New York City, which for as much of the dirty water hot dog culture is about New York and like thought about, no. And
they're the Zabrett's ones, right, in New York?
Yeah, they have Zabrett's, and then the guys out on the
Coney Island, whatever.
Yes. Those
I haven't had one in a long time, but no, we used to get them when we go in the city.
Nathan's,
right?
And I think they're terrible hot dogs.
Yeah,
and
do you?
Yeah, and people think that's a hot take, and I think they've just never had a good hot dog. Mm-hmm. There's a place that sponsors us for hot dogs, and it's in hard-hitting New Britain, Connecticut. Martin Russell's Meats, and Teddy Russell at Martin Russell's Meats makes the best hot dogs.
Well, could they send me some?
Yeah, I think we could get that. I could talk to Steph about that.
I will have a party for it.
We will
have a pool party with all of their hot dogs.
Yeah. They have good kielbasa's as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they're right near Little Poland in hard-hitting New Britain.
I didn't spend a lot of time in Connecticut, sorry to say. It's right there, right across from me.
Yeah, and there's no reason.
We didn't really go.
So we're changing... I'm petitioning to change the name of the Long Island Sound to the Connecticut Sound.
Nice.
We're making Connecticut great again.
Oh my God. Yeah. My poor grandmother's rolling over in her grave. She used to swim across it. She grew up, they lived in these shanties. So when they came over from Italy, you know where like Hempstead Harbor Bar Beach is right there. So where the islanders would practice that's where they lived, on these little shacks, these little shanties, and they were clam diggers, they called them. And all my grandparents worked on the sand mines there that built Manhattan, that built the buildings.
What would you tell a kid today that wants to get into show business?
I wouldn't call it show business.
I would.
With quotes.
I would.
And quietly.
That's why.
I mean, I think I would say try everything, like every kind of department, because you may think you know what it is and you may start it and be like, no, but you know what's kind of interesting? Like, oh, I want to be I think if you want to be an actor, there's many other also venues that can happen from that, like writers, directors.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite scripts are people who were writers, directors. My favorite directors were actors. Wait, did I say that wrong? My favorite scripts were written by actors. Yeah. Because they understand dialogue. I think, train under whatever you can. I think school is really important, even though I went to beauty school. So I can't really say that's for everybody, but I think like learn what everyone's job is.
Yeah, that's a good one, right? Like that's actually, I think that's applicable across anything.
Sure.
Learn other people's jobs. Learn your boss's jobs.
But don't tell them you can do it better.
That's right.
I would definitely not tell you. Keep it to yourself.
Keep that secret. That's so. Someone told me they needed to work on their inside their head voices. They needed to words that stay inside their head. They needed to keep those words in there.
Right.
And not have them come out. And I feel like that's a topic where don't tell your boss you're better than them.
Right.
Even though you are.
But here's my other advice that I think is really important. And this is, I think, why I did well. I was indispensable. I would do anything. No job was beyond me, beneath me. I could,
I pick up the pizza off the floor.
To this day, if the star or the producers are, I'll be like, can I get you a coffee? Can I get you, I'll do it. Not because I'm feeling subservient, but I want everyone to be really comfortable. And maybe I feel a little subservient, but no, I could just figure out how to get it done and quickly. And that.
But that's called being smart. What if you're not smart?
Yeah. Well, if you're not smart, then you should probably
work hard.
Yes. I was going to say something really shitty. Yeah. No, I was going to say, do something where someone else tells you what to say.
That's a good one. Or they tell you what to do.
Yeah, they tell you what to do, and you can just do that. Yeah. But no, you can tell a smart actor. It's so obvious. You
can really?
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, you haven't been in their presence, but if you were in their presence and you saw 10 people come in doing the same thing.
Kevin Kane was pretty smart. So I was in Kevin Kane's presence, but
if you were in a situation of him maybe auditioning for something or, coming in that way, you could tell who's smart by their prep work, the questions they ask,
Actors ask questions.
Yeah, we want them to.
This.
No, it's important because
kids don't know anything.
Sometimes they have very little information. There's a lot of these creators who don't want anyone to have any information. It's like NDA, you're going to be behind a glass door or whatever. Yeah. And you have to read their mind. So you have to make your own choices.
Who's your favorite actor? Or actress?
Sam Rockwell, genius, best actor in the planet.
Was he nice to you? Is that why you say that?
Yes, and I gave him one of his first jobs 30 years ago. And I did this tiny little movie, and he was so brilliant in the room. I never saw anybody that was so facile that could just one bit of direction could just change everything. You're really you can feel it.
Facile's a clever word.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're trying to be too smart for my audience.
Beauty school. And then I always loved Jodie Foster. To me was I was growing up, I loved old movies like Greta Garbo. In the 5th grade, they used to call me Greta Garbage because I was dramatic and did plays and stuff. And Jodie Foster, I remember always had that angular face, felt like Kate Blanchett has that. Jessica Chastain has that. I love looking at them. I love seeing their faces.
I'm trying to get Kate Beckinsale on the show.
Okay.
A lot of people don't like her, but she uses a friend of mine's facial product.
Oh.
And he wants to give her equity in the company. So I'm like, let's get her on the show.
Get her on the show.
Because she just uses it.
I've only heard she's super fun.
Really?
Yeah.
I have some people that say other things.
I heard she's a blast.
Well,
I have friends who
were
hanging out with her.
How do I get her?
And she was just supposed to be the most fun, to hang out with.
And then I was like, so I was thinking about all the famous people that I wanted to meet, and my list is very strange.
Okay, ready.
So
Let's see if I know any of them.
So I was like, Steph, I want to get Winnie Cooper.
I was like, wait, who's that? Oh,
I don't know the name.
I do.
She's Winnie Cooper
it's from the My So-Called from the other
one.
But
My So-Called Life is one of my favorite shows.
I loved it.
One of my best.
Oh my God. Jordan Catalano was my crush. Yes.
See? How can people, you're the only person that knows who Jordan Catalano is.
Oh my God.
All the people look at me like I'm idiots. And I'm like, come on, you got to get the fur on the jacket.
Oh my God. When I was casting.
There she is.
Oh yeah.
Dude, good work, Oscar.
Danica
You're
McKellar.
So much better than Chris already.
Danica McKellar. So when I was casting League of Their Own,
She's apparently joined a cult or something in Tennessee and left. She's not
Wasn't she just on like a remake of the show?
I tried to get her and like I can't get her because she's in Tennessee or something.
I was going to tell you my Jordan Catalano. When I was casting League of Their Own, I used to wear this. It was cold.
You casted a League of Their Own?
The series for Amazon. Okay. And I had this like long flannel thing that I would wear over my clothes. And I'll never forget Abby Jacobs. I walked in and she kept calling me Jordan Catalano. And I was like, oh my God, no one's getting it. It's the funniest thing ever.
Dude, it was such a good show. And like the fact that it didn't. So Claire Danes is like.
She is probably up there with me. Because if you think about like these
women. A lot of people don't like her either.
No, they do. Who doesn't like Claire
Danes?
A lot of people. I did not know that. I don't know.
She was dancing one time at a Deer Tick show in Providence. I saw her. I was up on top and saw her down.
I love her. Yeah. Although
Emma Watson was there too. Providence. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
Providence music
is great.
Yeah. It's weird. Isn't it? Like you start seeing Brown University, I think is why Emma was there. I think she went to Brown.
She did go there. But it was to say, like, the women that I was thinking of that were, like, my favorites, they all kind of look like that.
Like Claire Danes?
Like Claire Danes, Kate Blanchett. They all sort of have a very similar, even their coloring.
Who would you cast as Ryan Adams?
What does he look like, Ryan Adams?
Oh, can you pull up Ryan Adams, the musician? Remember. The musician, not he was married. He was married to Mandy Moore, and then she Me Too'd her husband.
Ryan Adams?
You don't know Ryan Adams? No. He's like
But he looks like that kid who was on the kid who wears all the eye makeup. Is that him?
No.
The one who was on The Voice?
I think Ryan Adams, I think I know what you're talking about. No, he's not that. Ryan Adams is extremely talented, one of the best musicians ever. And like he got
I remember Brian Adams.
That's and he gets really mad if you call him Brian Adams.
Well, because it's a
Summer of '69.
Yeah.
No. He's the best.
Who's the guy I'm thinking of with the
Steph doesn't like Brian Adams.
Ryan.
She had to do something with him. I don't think he smells good, and he's kind of mean. And he got Me Too'd for being creepy and like doing creepy things. But look at him. He's in a rock band. He looks like that. Like, don't you look at him and go, yeah, if that guy offers me something and I'm a young woman. I don't think he's
very cute. Like,
no. That's what I'm saying. He's not sexy.
He doesn't look like a sexy
he's creepy,
rock
but
star.
You should hear him sing. It's like an angel. And he writes songs, and he makes people famous for writing songs. And then he sexually he hits on them, even if they're 20, 30 years younger than him. And like, but that's being a rock star.
Hit on me? Does he go 20, 30 years older?
No, he's older than me.
Oh, he is. He looks like a kid. I guess I'm not understanding.
Yeah.
Who he is.
But anyway,
I'm never gonna look him up.
How would you cast that guy?
Probably first ask if he wants to do it and see if he can act.
He can't act, and he's intolerable.
Okay. Well, you would go through a lot of, you would do a search. You would like look at everybody from the name people to the unknowns, and you would want to also, they'd have to sing.
What do you look for in someone?
Well,
do you look for personality? Do you look for...
If I'm looking to cast someone that is already...
A singer?
A person. Oh, I've cast a lot of singers. I mean, I just did this. I did this. Jessica Simpson was based on her book, and the thing is, you have to like not look at it as a copy of that person,
right? You
have to sort of like find elements that work, and also the script is usually going to be a little bit different than what their real life is going to have been. Even if they wrote a memoir, so you're looking more for that.
Yeah, it's like the elements.
It's that reminds me of so and so. Then that looks like
because you can do the hair, right? Like
you
can
make anybody look like anything.
Right.
I mean,
that's so. It's the person that walks like them, right? It's like, is it?
But they could learn that too. I know, like Elvis kid did that. You can learn a lot of that, and that is really how they do get into character.
I don't think he was good as Elvis. Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to say that.
The other guy who played Elvis, I forgot his name.
I don't think he was good. I don't know. I'm never having Timothy Chalamet on my show. I can probably say that, unless it's like 450 episodes from now, and that's like 10 years away. So, like, he's not very good.
It's so funny. I was going back a couple of years.
He's the biggest star.
He is, and I had cast this movie right along too years ago. I don't know how many years ago that was, 12, 15 years ago. And I don't know what happened, but I was like looking through like who read for this one part, and he had taped for it.
It's amazing, right? Yeah. And I think that was one of the things I was like, oh, let's talk to casting people and managers because they know everything from history. Right?
Well,
like you see so many interesting things.
For 37 years. I've been here since I'm 23. So yes, I've seen a lot. And I've seen people grow and I've seen people disappear. You know, some people you're like, whatever happened to them? You know, they used to come in all the time or they were in everything and then but I get it because it's like sometimes it's life. Like your life changes.
Did you know Michael Gross still makes Tremors movies?
Yes. And I just saw him. I've cast him. His name has come up for things over the years. Yeah, he still works.
Still doing Tremors.
I know.
Can you imagine they still make Tremors?
And his sister, Mary Gross, did they have her at the SNL 50?
They must have.
I wonder. I don't remember if I saw her. I didn't watch it yet, but I've seen so many clips from it. I don't know. She was very funny on that.
I don't know his sister.
You know her. You just didn't know it was his sister.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very big in like the early 80s. There was a very funny movie called The Opposite of Sex.
Okay.
With, what's his name? Fort Fairlane. Andrew Dice Clay.
Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah.
And she was in that movie with Victoria Jackson, Leah Thompson.
I remember that. Yes. Great movie. Great movie.
And Mary was one of their girlfriends in it. You would know. Skinny, dark, curly hair. Yeah. I can remember those things, but I can't remember I don't know Ryan Adams.
Ryan Adams. Yeah, well, you just never knew Ryan. That was it.
No, but I've heard of him. I just didn't pay attention.
He married Mandy Moore and she didn't like it.
Are they're not married together?
They are not married anymore. He does really well with women, but it's because he's creepy and musically talented and like girls like that. And like,
but
why
doing
are they
well,
then surprised?
They don't stick around. Don't you think the mark of doing well is like it's actually
maybe depends what he's going for. He could be going for quantity. He could be going for quality. He could be going for relationship. I don't know what his motivators are in life. It feels like it's more whatever, much younger than him. That's what it feels like. Speaking of younger, we have a young woman that has sent in a question.
Oh, you said that. Was that the first time anyone had sent a question in or no?
No, we do this every episode. We have a question from a student.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah, we got one question from a student.
She's so cute.
I agree.
Hi, Felicia. Big fan here. Oh. I understand that the casting world and the film world in general, there's been some major slowdowns. I'm wondering, in the casting world, is it because less shows are being greenlit or because less American shows where American casting directors can work, are being, less of those are being greenlit?
So overall shows or
what's
American
her name?
shows? Her name is Emily.
Emily, thank you for the question. And you basically answered it yourself. I mean, what I say to people when they say, "Why is it?" I keep like we're live.
Yeah. Everybody's done it here. I think it's because the TV's so close. But
everyone who's not in the business says to me, "But why?" And I said, "Look at your Netflix. Just turn it on. What are the top shows you're seeing? They're K-dramas." Some Polish rom-com, sitcom. I mean, a lot of, from Spain and Mexico.
Spain, the heist television show from Spain is good. The rest of it's rubbish. The whole thing. All the other foreign
Italian, Irish. Well, I like the Irish and the English I consider because it's English speaking. So Australian the same, but it's flooded with foreign. So and then anything that does get made in quote America ends up shooting in Canada. So you're maybe being brought on to cast a couple of parts, the leads, and then they go to Canada and cast everything else and shoot it all there. So the opportunities here for us are slim to none. I mean, it is like when I tell you the last 2 years of my life went
crazy.
Completely terrible.
Yeah.
Completely terrible.
Just terrible.
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 Mm-hmm.
Horrible.
Horrific. And I don't see it changing. Like I said, just right now, like talking to a friend, oh yeah, another Ryan Murphy show. Like it's the same people. So then they use all the same people. So the opportunities for the casting directors like myself, unless call them accounts or whatever you want, my producers, people I work with a lot or multiple times, if they have to get the job to bring me on because there's very few new accounts. Roles. And if there are, to get into meet is hard because they want to meet the fancy people that have all the jobs already. So we are like all angling for that job. But then they go, oh, but this person, although they already have all of the other jobs and they're not going to be the person on it. Like you hire Felicia Fasano, Fufu, Flea, Fifi, you're getting me. You know, you're not getting a staff of 10 people doing the work.
Right.
It's me, and I have an associate and an assistant. Like, that's it, but it's me. You're not going into the machine, the cog of we've got all this going on.
People like to donate money to nonprofits that don't need money.
Okay. So you're saying I should be...
People like to give jobs to people
who don't need them,
who don't need jobs.
100%. And then they don't want to hear it. So the other thing is like, and I know this because I've been on the other side of it when it's like, oh, this actor needs a job for their health insurance. And the kindest people you could work with hate to hear that they're like, please don't ever tell me that again about people because they're not going to give them that job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you, if people are like, you need to let everyone know you need to, you're not working and you need the work. It's like, but then they don't want to know that you're not working. They want to think you're too busy for them.
Yeah.
It's like the guy that doesn't want you, it's like dating that person that really doesn't want to be dating you.
It's an amazing, psychological phenomena.
It is.
All right. Before we go.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Before we go.
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite TV show?
In the world that I can watch over and over and over and over again?
Because people that do casting, people that do production, you guys watch more TV than anybody.
I watch
movies, all that stuff.
I have to tell you that I love Ted Lasso.
Wow.
Because when it first aired, I had a dog that was dying and I was spending a lot of time getting his blood transfusions and I was so sad and it just made me it was just such a sweet, it was just sweet.
Yeah, it's a good show.
It wasn't saccharine sweet because I hate to be manipulated. I just loved and as it went, like all the characters developed and I was like, didn't really even care about him. It was like, I loved the women in it and their relationships. And I just smile when I would watch it. You know what I mean? So for me, when I'm feeling like I just want something, like I would just turn back on 30 Rock, which was sort of like that. I had watched it when it was on TV. I was like, this is like fun. No one's getting hurt. Nothing really bad is happening because that's everywhere.
Yeah.
I will always go for... And I appreciate it over some of the things that might be light, that this is actually good acting and great writing and funny people.
And Tracy Morgan's about as good as it gets. And she used to, we used to go to the same dog park, her and I. And so, yeah, she had a dog in 72nd Street in West End. There's a little dog park over there. And that's where her and then Cyndi Lauper's Gordy has passed on.
Oh,
Gordy was a little black pug. So one day I have a black pug. Excuse me. my black pug Bob was running around, and then all of a sudden there was another black pug, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then I heard this woman talk, and she was like,
she's like,
yeah. And it was Cindy. So,
I love her.
And then, all right. And then I got another, like, I love to hear what people like, because you guys know more stuff. And if there was.
I also love, like, I find all of these really weird Australian and Irish comedies that no one watches from like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, English. I'm finding all of these now because that's what they're putting on Netflix. Or Hulu has a lot of them. And I'm just like, I love them.
Yeah, they're able to be a little smarter than us.
They're so much smarter.
All right.
We steal everything from them.
Who I love these. I could do these for days. Who would be, like, I'm not thinking of the question right. So my brain doesn't work the way other people's brains work. So sometimes when I ask a question, it's only my brain that understands the question. So I have to like go through and edit it out. All right, ready? So like if you were going to cast one actress, like it doesn't matter what the show is, like who, so basically like your favorite actress, but like who's the one person that you haven't casted that you would have wanted to work?
Not casted.
Yeah. English is not my first language.
No, but everyone says that and it makes me crazy because it's not a word. Did you casted your fishing line? No, you casted.
I did.
So you did. Who have I never gotten to cast that I would love to cast?
That you would have been like, yeah, you're like just a huge fan. Just love their work. Not a huge fan of like their person or whatever. You just really love their work. And then who you have casted. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
I have tried, but I'll never get to her because I need to work on something really fancy. But I am obsessed with Jessica Buckley. I think she's a genius.
Really?
Genius. I would love to cast her in something. I put her on every list in hopes. I think she is brilliant. And do you know who she is?
So
did you see her in Fargo and those movies? I think she's.
So I was just telling Henry after the show, but I'll tell you during. I'm getting all the Gilmore Girls on the show. So Kelly's the first one.
Okay.
Emily Gilmore. And so she's agreed to be on the show, but we haven't scheduled the date.
Kelly is the grandmother, right?
Yeah.
All right. We were trying to hire her on League of Their Own to play this part. We got very close to getting her. But I listened to this celebrity podcast called Glamorous Trash, Chelsea Devantez, and they did her book, her memoir. And it's fascinating. You need to read it before you.
Yeah, I am. Okay. So, and like, I'm hoping she agrees to do it at her house.
Yeah, you're going to have to go to her.
Well, she said she might take a car if I give her a car, come into the studio.
Okay.
But then I want to do Alexis, who doesn't do much at all, but she has a independent movie coming out soon. And
so you're going to go to the premiere?
And then our agent is brother-in-laws of Lord Graham. So if I get Kelly, I've got a legitimate shot at all the Gilmore Girls.
So I never watched it.
You should.
But so I started putting it on for my dogs. When
Your dogs love it.
And then I started sitting down and watching it because I needed something that I could be gone for a few hours. They're in their crates. Just something that would not run out. And so, but I'd be getting ready to go and I would start watching it. And the same thing happened to me with Younger, which I think is the greatest show also ever. I'm going to add that to my list. Right. I'd never seen it. I'm obsessed with it.
Younger.
I mean, Sutton Foster is genius. I've seen her in theater before. I actually just saw her at in Once Upon a Mattress here. Her physical comedy is
why do you think she chose the name Sutton? It's kind of a weird name.
That's her name.
Yeah.
You don't think that's her name?
Probably not.
I think. Or you think maybe it's a.
Who would name their daughter family? Sutton?
Sutton Strack from Beverly Hills Housewives. Sutton. You think that's an odd name? Did you think Felicia was an odd name?
No, that's an actual name and a woman's name and all those things.
Yeah. It actually was my grandfather's name.
Really?
Felice.
Well, that's not English. Felicia.
Well, it's the female version.
Yeah.
Felix in English.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love learning about people's lives and experiences. So I really appreciate it.
I wish I was in a better place right now to be like, oh my God, it's the best thing. It's
Who cares?
Just
it's
not.
Real.
I know.
It's real.
By the way, I know. It's just, I'm sick of myself. You know what I mean? When you're like sick of my own.
Your own crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough. It's tough.
I know.
You know, you're the responsible for ruining. If you would have cast Real World 2 so much worse, then the franchise would have ended. We probably wouldn't have all the rubbish on TV we have. Like if you would have just screwed that up.
If it was only my decisions.
Yeah.